example letter, which is kind of cheating, so a lot of this formatting is already done for me. But one of the things it says, it needs to be 1 inch from the side. If I view in Word and I view the entire, let's see, this ribbon, view, and I'm going to see one page, so I can see the whole thing. It's not zoomed in, and I can tell how far away it is. Up at the top, I have my ruler. If you don't have the ruler, again, that's probably going to be in your view options. Click view up here and ruler, and that'll either go away or show up. I want to see it. So I need to be 1 inch away from the side, and I can see with the ruler, this part right here is where my margins are, so I can slide that over. But this part, when I get the double arrow, I don't know if you can see that. It's gonna let me zoom. My double arrow, when I slide this over, I'd be at a 1/2 inch here, I'd be at 1 inch here. So by default, it might already be set at 1 inch, but that's how you'd check that. A couple people had some trouble with spacing. So from the top, it says 2 inches down. Same thing, I have my ruler on the side over here. This is not 2 inches from the top. Currently, I have it 1 inch from the top. So if I get the double arrow and slide it down until 2 comes up right there, I'm 2 inches from the top now. It's quite a ways down there. Sell your house, 6. So this is supposed to be on a separate. So right now I have a problem here. Somebody else had this problem where I had double space instead of single space. If I 2-finger click, go to paragraph. It says single, and that's right, it should be at single space, but for some reason it's showing up as double space. So I can look at before and after. That's before each line, and after each line it may have a space. So I can show you if I put like a 24-inch space before, I'm going to turn this to 0, it's going to have pretty significant spacing even though it says it's single space. So I'm going to go back to paragraph, and I'm going to make before back down to 0, and after 0 and single space, and then it should cram it all together nicely. Make sure I'm still at 2 inches. That looks good. Don't need it to say 2 line, 1 line. Otherwise, the lines is just how many spaces you have between, so I can just hit enter. It's already double spaced. It says it's supposed to be 4 lines, so if I hit enter twice, it'll be 4 lines. 4 lines between, 1 line between. Oops, I think that's most of the formatting. This one has a double space in between, so I need to get rid of that. So comparing these, it looks like they're pretty similar. You'll make sure that it's left justified, not right justified. I saw a couple people had trouble with that. So if I'm in my home, this is centered. This is right justified. This is left justified. I want it to be left justified. It doesn't show in the example that you have tabbed for a new paragraph. You certainly can. I'm not going to take off if you don't, since I don't have it in the example. Otherwise, I think that's most of what we need. The recipient's address is who you're sending it to. The return address is your address. So when I'm done, I'm going to go to File, Save As, and save it someplace you're going to remember. And then somebody said, how do I send it to that person? So if they have a form for you to fill out, you can just copy and paste this information into the form, and you don't need to copy the address and everything. But for the assignment, for the grade, you need to hand in this entire thing in its nice, pretty format. So if you're just going to copy and paste it into their form online, you can just copy and paste Command-C, Command-V. Otherwise, if you do have an email address, if you've never sent emails before, I'm logging into Gmail, or I can click on this waffle here after I'm logged in, and then Gmail. And then compose means you're going to write a letter. And I'm going to put my recipient's address, something at gmail.com or whatever. And in my subject, request for permission or something along those lines. And then I could say, please see attached letter. And then down here I have a paperclip. That means attached files. I click on the paperclip, and I can go to wherever I saved the file. I'm not sure if I actually saved it. Sell Your House. There we go. Click open. And when it's loaded there, it means that it's 100% done. Now, the thing that's a little tricky with this, I think this is the right way to do it, Realistically, if I get a letter from somebody I don't know and there's an attachment, I'm not going to open it because there's a possibility that it's a virus. So go ahead and do this, but you can also just copy and paste the content to make sure they actually read it. And we can just copy and paste the content in there, and then you can also attach the letter if you want it to be more formal. Hit send, and that way they have it. When you're done with one letter, you're ready for the next one. I would just change the details, change the recipient's address. You only need to hand in one of your letters, but you'll want to send out more than one because you want somebody to say yes. So a lot of times they do, but if they don't, that way we've got a backup plan.